Good evening, the goat. I am your host this evening. Well, one of your hosts this evening, hopefully, maybe, possibly. In the corner, you see the ghost. I'm the paranormal investigator. The other side, the other half of this show, bam, scurrying through a pasture. He's hoping to make it in time, for some of the show this evening. Throw his 2 cents in where needed, where not needed. Um, no, he won't. He won't say anything. He won't. He won't be. He's a good guy. There will be no sports this evening. Generally, we do one half paranormal, one half sports. It's all paranormal. We have a goat joining us this evening. She's an angel card reader. She is a that talks to the dead, if you will. That's why we have her on tonight. She's joining us. We have like like 6 or 8. We have a ton of people coming on, supporters of the show, friends of mine, people who like, yeah, I'd love a reading, buddy. So yeah, so just be on at this time. I staggered people in, and it's going to be kind of like good pace. So hopefully it goes all well. But if you've ever heard me talk about on podcasts or on or interviews, people ask me, buddy, as an investigator, have you ever seen anything like really negative, man? Like they use the D word. I don't like to use the D word, but they use the D word, like demonic. I hate even saying it. It just makes me ill. But I tell a story. I tell one story, right? And it involves one lady. And that lady is on tonight, and she is a goat when it comes to this. So without further ado, I'd like to bring on my guest, my one of my guests this evening, the goat, the medium, the angel card reader, Amy Santos. Whoop, 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 whoop. Amy, welcome to the show.
How are you? You'll have to excuse me, but you keep freezing
Really,
up.
really good lineup packed up. I got a lot of people.
Hey,
I don't know
buddy.
if you're game and all by the amount of spirit interactions you may or may not be having, but we're gonna a 10 to 15 minute session. I asked them to bring a photograph, but before we get going, I just a few quick questions for you. Usually this is an interview. This is going to be a really quick interview. So
Can you hear me?
my before you give a reading to somebody,
You keep freezing up, buddy.
please don't tell me I have internet issues myself. Is there anything that you do as a medium to prepare yourself for a reading?
Yeah, I do a lot of meditation. I don't do it
Okay.
all the time, just for that reason. I do it for myself, just to clear my head, connect with the other side.
Hmm.
Um, just let them know I'm thankful.
Okay.
And, not everybody, like, if they want a reading, sometimes spirit doesn't step forward because
Right.
there's somebody else in the room that needs it more so. That's the way I feel.
Okay. Fair enough. Now you asked me to, and I've asked a lot of our guests to bring on a photograph with them of somebody that they'd like to connect to. Why is it that a photo is it necessary or is it just more
It,
helpful?
yep, it's not necessary, but sometimes in the past, people have. And I won't pick up anything until I turn to somebody and they'll have a photograph and I won't know it. But the energy from that picture itself makes it stronger because spirit works off my energy.
Okay.
So, like by the 10, like if I do a group reading, by the end of it, I'm like a rubber band.
Oh, I bet. I bet.
Yeah.
Now, as a medium, do you hear voices? Do you see spirits? Do you see
Um,
them?
so it varies. I get it all. So sometimes it will be a thought in my head
Okay.
and it just comes out and that's the way they speak. Or I will see somebody here
Hmm.
and it's kind of like I describe it as like the old fashioned movies.
Hmm. Yeah. Right.
And, I'll see stuff like that. And then sometimes if they're very eager or angry, I'll get a loud yell in my ear. And I just ask them to tone it down. Nothing negative,
Oh, I
you know.
sent you a photograph. I don't know if you remember this. I'll tell it really quick before I bring on our first guest. It was a murder victim. And it was an unsolved case, but I always believe that he was murdered. And some of the chilling details you had about what this
It
person's
is. Can
doing
I
to
ask you
their life or
something?
something. What's that?
I don't remember it, but why am I being told a janitor?
That I always thought it was a maintenance worker. I it was a kid that disappeared at the lad school in 1956, and that's the photograph I showed you of Gary Heyman.
Oh, okay.
And
Okay.
you gave me this like incredible reading about what you thought happened to the kid, and it's just
There was all
I
woodsman's
don't want to get
business.
into it. I could spend a whole show just talking about that. So I'm just gonna bring out our first guest. I'm gonna stay on the show. I'm gonna be the guide basically. It's all gonna be you guys. So our first guest this evening, she's lovely. She's a friend of mine.
Yeah.
Her husband's a good friend of mine as well. Her name is Kara. Welcome to the show, Kara.
Hi, Carol.
Hi,
How
how are
are you?
you? Good, how are you?
I'm good. You got a lot going on, huh?
Yeah,
I'm being told to pull a card, so
okay.
can I just be open or is there anything
Yeah,
you want
I don't,
to
that's
do?
totally fine.
Okay. It's in regards to a relationship. And so, as far as the relationship, you're more submissive to that person, where you want more from them, and you're too eager to push forward to try to gain more attention from it. And this person isn't a bad person. It's just that they're not a settler, if that makes sense.
Okay.
Um, there's a woman that passed on your side, mother figure.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And there's something to do with butterscotch candy. Pocket candy in the pocket with tissues. I don't know why she's showing me.
I'm not sure about butterscotch.
Yeah, she always had candy on her. Um, I feel as though that what she's giving me when I get lights on, lights off, it was quick. Um, she didn't have a chance to say her farewells.
Mm-hmm.
You weren't able to be there either.
No.
No, and she's glad for that.
Yeah.
Was this your grandmother?
Yes.
Okay, all right. Because she just showed me a basket with the knitting and crochet, and usually,
Yeah.
yeah. So, but she wants to know that uh, sometimes you'll see my lips moving. That's because they're talking, I'm talking on the other side. Um, something happened when you were younger that she had to take care of. Did you have an incident or an accident? And
Yeah.
she felt as though that she was the one that's going to take care of this.
I'm not too sure about an incident or
It
accident.
has to do with a car.
I mean, when she died, I took her car.
Okay.
I don't know if that has anything to do with that.
Yeah. But you took the car in your own
Yeah.
possession.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. All right. Um, I don't know why. I just feel a lot of confusion around you. You don't know whether you're going left, right, straight, forward, whatever. But you're too much of a people pleaser.
Mm-hmm.
So your problem is not that it's a bad thing,
Yeah.
but you have to put yourself forward first.
Mm-hmm.
That's the important thing because you don't. And you find out that, I feel as though you don't feel good all the time. You feel yucky, but that's because you're putting too much strain within yourself
Mm-hmm.
because you got too many worries about everybody else.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a young lady that you recently disconnected with because of foul play, put it that way. Something that was done that was not right.
Interesting.
And so that person had the biggest loss, not you. But you gotta start reminding yourself that you're more important than you think you are.
Mm-hmm.
That's my big thing with you. You're too much about making people happy. But in the long run, you're not happy. And your grandmother says, do you have a blanket or something? A
Um,
throw?
not from when I was young, no.
No, something that you kept that was hers. That was like a blanket.
Um,
She made? Did she make something?
I think I have a few things that of hers that she made, but I don't recall right now what they are.
Yeah. No, she likes that because she did she crochet?
Yeah,
Knit-
she did. She knitted and all that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Because that was one of her things she was so proud of.
yeah.
Somebody was gonna have a baby, she's gonna make something. Somebody's, needs it, she's gonna make it.
Hmm.
Yeah. Very kind woman.
Hmm.
More of a mother figure than a grandmother figure. Do you have two siblings?
No, just one.
Is it a male?
Yeah.
Is he engaged?
No, but he's been waiting. I mean, he's been with his girlfriend for a few years now.
Yeah. Okay. Well, there might be a surprise along the way. Do you have any questions for me?
No, I don't think so. I just wanted to see, what was going to come through and whatnot.
Yeah, no, that's fine. Um, is there a male that had a head injury?
I don't think so.
I'm feeling like the brain was full of blood.
Hmm.
I'm getting swelling in my head. I'm sorry, my dog's at the door. Are we- No,
I don't think so.
no. Well, what I usually tell people is whatever I get, I say.
Yeah.
If it doesn't make sense, you might have a conversation with somebody in the family, a friend or whatever, and they might say, oh, and they know who it is.
Hmm.
So it was just the way of spirit reaching out saying, let somebody know I'm okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. But your grandmother is very close to you.
Yeah.
Do you have a lot of sleepovers?
We did. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it was nice speaking with you.
Thank you.
Okay, Kara, thank you for coming on.
Thanks.
Any questions? No, you good?
Yeah, I'm good. Thank
All
you.
right, have a good night.
You too.
Thank you. Take care.
All right, we're going to bring on our next guest. Her husband is also a lovely gentleman. This is Amanda.
Okay. Hi,
Hi.
Amanda. How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm well, thank you. I'll start off. Do you have any questions for me?
I do not.
All right. I got another female like the other one stepping forward.
Okay.
This one I'm not getting grandmother. I'm getting a mother figure.
Okay.
Your husband, did his mom pass? No?
Nope.
I'm getting a chest filling up with fluid right here. In the month September. I don't know why. No? Do you have a picture?
I do.
Let's see if I can. I know it's a female right now that I
So the
have.
only one I have is, let me see that's my grandmother.
Okay. Did you live with her?
I lived below her.
Okay. All right. She didn't have fluid or anything in her chest?
Nope.
She wasn't sudden though. That was
That was
prolonged. Yeah, okay. Her husband passed before she did.
she was divorced, but yes, he passed before her.
Okay, all right. Because he's kind of stepping forward too, but he's very quiet. Very. He's afraid of her. She tells it as it is.
Yes.
Did she make you like a scrapbook or something? Like pictures and something that you kept? It looks like an old scrapbook. And it's got old pictures in it.
Nope.
She's also talking about a deck of cards.
So
Do you guys do deck of cards a lot or something? Like she loved her playing cards?
we used to play cards every holiday together.
Okay. All right. So that's a good memory of her,
Mhm.
from her, that she keeps with her. Did she have 4 children?
Nope.
Who has the 4 kids?
My brother has 4 girls.
Okay. Out of the 4, is one of them have a symptom, so to say? Learning disability?
No. When
Okay.
so when one of them was born, we thought that she was Downs, but she was tested
Yep.
and she was fine.
Okay. Because she's bringing one of the children up that she's very, very, very protective of her. And she pushes her often to let her know, you got this.
And she wasn't alive when my grandmother was alive, so that's
Yeah. So she watches over her. She knows what's going on.
okay.
Yeah. Don't ask me why, silliness, but she's talking about the chicken soup. She's got a pot of chicken soup and she goes, wait till you taste this.
She never made chicken soup a day in her life, so
I don't know. Like I say, I just pass it along when I'm getting.
the only person I could think that would possibly make chicken soup would be my husband's grandmother.
Okay.
And she's passed. But I don't know if she would even make chicken soup.
Did somebody have gangrene that started like a blood?
My husband's grandfather.
And it started to progress and unfortunately got worse and added to many other situations in the organs?
I don't think so. I think it was just in his foot, but
Mhm.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Do you have any questions?
No, I'm good, thank you.
Okay.
Although if that was my grandmother around,
Yep,
can you just tell her to look over her daughter?
I will.
Thank
I
you.
will. Do you have a piece of jewelry?
Yes. I wore it on my wedding day.
And do you rub it a lot?
No,
When you
I
kind of
don't.
have.
So I do have a couple pieces of jewelry, and
Yep.
one of them is a necklace, but the rubbing was a blanket that I had of hers.
Okay.
Hmm.
And it's when you're thinking of her, you're you got shit going on. Excuse my French. You got stuff going on, and it's something that soothes it, makes you feel like she's right there. Yeah, she knows it. But
Cool.
always, always, always talk to her because she listens. And she'll help you the best way she can.
Perfect. Thank
But
you.
I'll make sure she gets that message to watch over her daughter.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Have a
All
great day.
Thank you so much for coming on. Give Jay my best.
I-
All right, our next guest, Amy. He's a lovely gentleman. I'm just gonna
You
bring him
better
on.
be.
His name's John.
All right. Hey, John.
John, how you doing?
Hello.
Hi, how are you?
Good.
You in the military?
I'm retired.
Okay.
Yep.
Because I just got this. That's why.
Yep.
But
Yep.
you followed in somebody's steps, though.
Oh yeah, I did. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Because he's doing this.
Mm-hmm.
So thank you for your service, number one.
Thank you.
Do you have anything you want to ask me first?
No. I think you are on the right track. That's about it.
I hope so.
Mhm.
Um. Okay. So, do you happen to have a box with a glass top that has the? You know how like when you're in the service they give you the flag,
Yeah, I mean, I have
but
a
it belongs to somebody else.
yeah, I have my grandfather's flag that I presented to my grandmother at the funeral. I was
Okay.
part of the color guard.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Hmm.
No, because he's very proud of that. That's why.
Hmm.
Um. Mom's not here.
Oh, my mom's here. Yeah.
Okay, so her mom then is
My
not with us.
no, the two of them were married. Yeah.
Okay, so that would be your grandmother.
Yeah.
She's cute. So, anywho, she had a problem walking. She limped a lot.
Yeah. She had really bad arthritis.
Yeah, and so one of her favorite things was to dance.
Hmm.
And she said she's better than Frank Sinatra, so don't worry. And you made her very proud. You
I
brought a
hope.
lot of comfort to her.
Hmm. Yeah.
And she may not have shown it because that wasn't her character. Um, she would tell you things, but she wasn't like, oh my God, you know what I mean?
Mm.
So, but she wants you to know that when every time she saw you, you lit her up. But she
Mm.
didn't know how to express it because, okay, so she didn't know how to express it because her growing up was the
Mm.
same way.
Yeah.
Her bring up was a little harsh.
Yeah. I don't
Yeah.
really know, honestly.
Yeah.
I don't know her upbringing, but yeah.
Hmm. But she wants you to know it wasn't intentional. That's she didn't know how to show that affection, but she keeps going like this, squeezing my cheeks, and she's saying, "He's just so cute. He's so cute. He's a good boy. He's a good boy."
Good God.
I
Yeah,
am a good boy.
you
Yeah,
better
you're a good
be.
boy, Don.
You better be. Do you have any questions?
um well, you're talking to my grandmother and grandfather, so
Hmm. They struggled though.
nah, I mean, not really. I mean, my grandfather was quite successful, and
Hmm.
my grandmother was at home, and
Yeah.
they did really well for themselves. It
Not
was a,
financially though. That's not what I'm meaning.
oh no, I mean they were happy. They were, yeah.
Oh, they were happy, but I feel like the family itself, as a whole, it was always some matter that had to be taken care of. Don't hurt their feelings. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Some of
yeah.
the
I don't,
people in the family are touchy go. Like, you know what I mean?
yeah, yeah. I don't know. I mean, we had family get-togethers all the time,
Hmm.
and when they passed pretty close to each other.
Yep.
When they passed, that kind of fell away, and the true identities of some of the siblings came out, and that kind of broke up some things. But
Yeah.
it wasn't necessarily when they were around. So
Yeah. It wasn't a bad thing either. It was just
mm.
a lot of confusion, ego,
Mm.
but things settled down. So,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah. Yeah. So they they just like to let you know they know what's going on, and
Well, I'm happy that they're looking out for me. I feel
yeah.
I look at them a lot. I do. I have a good amount of people that I can think about that I wanted to talk
Hmm.
to tonight. But those two were the
Is there a gentleman that had a motorcycle accident?
my uncle Bobby had a a motorcycle accident when he was younger. Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Did he pass or no?
Not from the motorcycle accident, but he has
Okay.
past. Yeah.
Okay.
Mm.
Because I'm seeing a man on a motorcycle. That's why I'm asking. And usually when the helmet's on the ground, that means.
Yeah. No, he had a pretty bad wreck, but no,
Yep.
he was tough dude.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
He liked leather.
Mm.
I don't know what that means. He says, I still got my leather.
Well, he may have liked leather, but he also liked rubber bands around his arm. So
Oh, cool.
that's ultimately what took his life. So
Oh,
yeah.
no.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
Mm.
Oh.
Life
It was
is funny. Yep.
Yep, it sure is.
Yep.
Yep. Well, it's such a pleasure meeting you.
You
Thank
too.
you for allowing me to connect
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it.
anytime.
All
Yeah,
right.
that was awesome. Thanks, Sean.
Take
All right.
care.
Nice seeing you,
Take care,
brother.
Sean.
Bye.
But, all right, that was pretty good. Right from the get go. Bam, military. Bam, yeah. 11 years in the Army and 9 years in the Air Force, or vice versa. Yeah.
To be honest, I didn't do meditation before this, so I'm trying my hardest to. It sounds like underwater when I talk to them.
Yeah, he works at a veterans hospital
Oh,
as we speak
nice.
as a nurse. Yeah,
Awesome.
so thank you as a veteran, and thank you as a nurse working with veterans, giving back. It's
That's
it's awesome.
wonderful.
So speaking of giving back, we have somebody who gives back every single day, Monday through Friday. I'm not gonna tell you what she does. But bring her on. Welcome, Amy. Welcome, Amy.
Hi.
Hi, Amy. How
Hi,
are
how are
you?
you?
I'm well. How are you?
I'm great, thank you. I'm pretty excited to be here.
Ditto. um, I don't know why that I have you feeding people,
I
passing
do.
out stuff, huh?
I do bring snacks in to work.
Yeah. Okay. So, did your mom pass?
Yes.
Okay. She have a lot of jewelry
Yes.
because she's opening up the. I don't know if you remember years ago they had the legs on it and it was a big armor. You know what I mean? And you'd open it up and there was all little hangers and everything. And she's doing the Vanna White like that.
Yes.
Did she do something with machinery?
She was a seamstress that she would sew medical binding.
Oh wow. Okay. All right. All right. Because she used a foot pedal. That's what I keep seeing.
Yeah. I actually have a picture of her if you'd like to see it.
I would love to.
There's my mom.
Oh, she's beautiful.
Thank you.
She keeps trying to make me feel as though that her mind was slipping. Till at the end, she was like, tried so hard to remember on point things when she was telling a story. And then she got to the point where she was exhausted.
Yeah.
And then, was there anything to do with her head?
No.
Because she's complaining that she used to have headaches a lot.
I mean, that's a possibility as a side
Yeah.
effect to what she was
Yep.
taking.
Yep. But I'm also getting bleeding internally.
That could be a possibility.
Was this quick?
No.
Like 3-4 months? No.
Well, she was on a steady thing of medication, and once she took like the last really strong dosage of the medication, that was it for her.
Was it have to do with her kidneys?
No.
Something just started shutting down one after another.
Well, she had ovarian cancer.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Thank you.
Sucks.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And you also have a piece of her jewelry.
Yep.
But
I
you
wear it
use
every
it.
day.
Yeah, I was just going to say, but you use it to symbolize something, and that's the wedding. Yeah.
Well, it's her. I wear it on my right hand, but
Yep.
piece of jewelry she inherited from
Oh,
her godmother, and then she passed it on to me.
wasn't that nice?
Yeah, it's been in the family for almost 100 years.
Oh my God.
Yeah, 1927.
Now, do you have the? It's gonna sound funny, but do you have the china?
Mm-mm.
Who has the chinaware? Somebody
I
has the
don't,
chinaware
I don't know.
because holidays were good for her.
She liked putting on dinners for
Yeah.
family
Yep. Love to
in
cook.
her younger years. Yes.
Yeah. And she said nobody entered the house without having something to eat.
That would also be my grandmother's house, which
Oh,
she lived
really?
in for a long time. Yeah. Yep. In fact, my grandmother to this day, that's her MO. She has a steady stream of people that visit her, and she's always trying to feed them.
Yep.
I
You're
probably
not leaving unless your tummy's full.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Are you personally going through something right now?
Not really, no.
As far as switching something?
Nope. I switched something last year, my job.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. And started up with a new position.
Oh, nice.
Look at you. Are you in the bucket still? I'm sorry to interrupt.
No.
No. Okay, go ahead. Proceed.
I don't know why I want to say hospice with you.
My mom was in hospice before she passed.
Okay.
And I'm the one that took care of her
Okay.
in her last days.
You were with her.
Yes. Yep.
Yes.
I'm
And
the
you
one
held
that
her,
gave her the medication and everything.
and you held her hand.
Yeah.
Who was rubbing her feet? She said, I never got that when I was good.
It could have been, I mean, there were a couple of friends that were there too. They could have done that for her.
Yeah. Yeah. No, but she's very thankful. She wasn't alone, and she knew it.
Yep.
And was there a young man that passed early? Because she's talking about the young man that met her at her time of crossing.
She had a miscarriage before she had me.
Yep.
And
Okay.
it was a boy.
Yep.
That
Well,
could-
he met her when she crossed over.
I mean, my grandfather had passed before. Obviously, she did.
Yeah. No, this was a young man. So what happens is, usually like with readings, if say it's for somebody that did lose a child, whether it's miscarriage,
Mm-hmm.
born or not, they always come to me with a treasure chest, and they take out little items that, or they got band-aids that are on them, just let me know where. But that's why I say a younger man, because I can tell they come to you the way they want you to see them. So I wouldn't see him as if it was a miscarriage, you know what I mean? But he's a young boy, and I can see him holding out his hand, and he has a daisy in his hand. So
Is there anything that she would really like me to focus on?
Goals.
yourself. The job that you have right now, do you take care of people?
Yes.
Okay.
Vice principal.
Okay.
I take care of a lot of people.
Yep. But I think it's overwhelming.
Well, it could be for a lot of people, yeah. There's a lot involved with it.
Yeah, but you love what you do, so that's not a bad thing.
Right.
Yeah. You're not married.
Yes, I am.
Is he not home often? Does he work a different job?
He does work during the day too, but he's busy with other things at night, so.
Okay. No, because I'm seeing like you here and then somebody here. That's why I asked if you were married.
What does that usually represent?
I'm sorry. I like to get words the right way without.
That's okay.
There's not. I'm not saying anything bad, but there's not a lot of connection right now, and it seems to bother you because you're feeling as though what's missing.
Okay.
As women go through menopause, men go through menopause.
Yeah.
And I think that's partial. They second question their life
Mm-hmm.
and everything like that. The way I feel, I wouldn't worry. He's got to get through this.
Okay.
But I think you're strong enough that you can say, you know what? I'm going to wait it out. I've been here this long. And in the end, it's most likely going to be good. And if it wasn't, you'll deal with it because you're a tough cookie. You don't put up with shit. Let's just say that.
That's true.
Yeah. But I wouldn't put too much energy into it. I think he's more so trying to figure himself out.
Okay.
And it's hard for us women because you just want to punch him in the nuts and say it. What's the problem?
Right.
You know? And it's not a bad thing. We're all different in our own way. We have our own character. But there's a lot of love there.
Yeah.
You
Definitely.
knew him for a very long time.
Yes. Like
Yes.
20 some years.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Don't give up. Don't give up.
I won't.
Nope. You got
I
this, girl.
think that you got this, girl.
Yep.
Thank you, Amy, for coming on.
Meet you.
Well, thank you so much. I really appreciate this.
And I wish you the best. If you ever have any questions, just get my number from Buddy.
All right.
Sure.
Thank you, Amy.
Thank you.
You
Have a
too.
good night.
She is she's a high school principal or assistant principal, and they honestly they scare the shit out of me as a bad kid growing up. Oh my god, that I can still like the sensories, the smells of the principal's office, like
Isn't it funny?
the paperwork copying. I can still smell it. Like, oh my god, I'm in trouble again.
I went to
And-
Bayview, and I was every morning at Bayview. My teacher would say,
the waiter
"Amy,
messed up, and she pulled him aside and had like a side conference with this guy. I'm looking at this guy like, oh my god, he must be terrified. But anyway, she's a great lady. She's a great lady.
she was
Anyway,
sweet.
the person I have scheduled next isn't in the studio yet, but the next person is in the studio. Her name is Brittany. I don't know if she's paying attention, but I'm going to open
We're
the
here.
screen and there's John. John is and here's Brittany.
Hello.
Hi,
Good to see
Brittany. How are
again,
you?
John.
Good,
Brittany,
how
nice
are
to
you?
meet you.
Good.
Go ahead, ladies. Do it.
You work with paranormal?
I don't work with it. I'm into it.
Very into it.
Beginner.
Yeah, but it's I'll just say you've opened a couple of doors.
Interesting.
Yep. May I ask, was there a child?
Not mine.
That wasn't able to make it fully? Little girl?
No.
Okay, because she's standing behind you. That's why I'm asking.
Hmm.
I'll be honest, you have a wall up, which means that you're skeptical, and I'm trying to get past that wall because sometimes it blocks the energy.
Mm-hmm.
You've been through an awful lot.
I have.
Yeah, growing up and everything. Maybe that's why you hold your God. But you have to understand something. None of it was your fault, and I think you know that.
Mm-hmm.
And in order for you to move past things, you have to let it go, unfortunately. That's what I'm being told. There's not a very nice man that passed. He gives me the creeps. And I keep coming up with the age of 9. I don't know why.
It wouldn't have a relation to me.
But like I was saying before, if not you, like say it's a sibling or a friend, sometimes they come through, so you'll get the message to them. I don't know why. I just tell you what I hear and what I see.
Yeah.
Also, what do you have to do with mathematics? Is it something in a job or whatever? I see a lot of numbers around you.
No.
No.
Not work related.
No, it doesn't have to be. It could be astrology and stuff like that, numbers.
Yeah, that would make sense.
Okay. But you plan on taking this further, I hope.
What, astrology?
Just the
Like,
whole realm of it. Like the
yeah,
whole, because I see you being of something of greatness with it. Because you get it, you understand it, it's more natural to you than others. You pick up a lot on senses and like your gut feeling on things.
yeah.
And you're not afraid to say, oh, I don't know. You know what I mean? You're just like, bullshit, that's what it is. I know it is.
Hmm.
And who's Pops?
Maybe my grandfather?
Did you call him Pops?
No. Called him Papa.
Okay. Now I got this before, buddy, on somebody else, but I'm gonna come to you.
Yep.
I didn't want to say it before because I
Yep.
wasn't positive. But I have a gentleman that I feel as though he had an amputation.
For me? You talking to me?
No, her.
Oh, all right, I'm
Oh,
sorry.
yeah. Yeah, I know who you're talking
You know who
about.
I'm talking about?
Yep.
Okay. Would it be a grandfather?
Nope, just someone I was very close to.
Okay. Was it an accident?
Um,
Did you guys just see that? My lights in my kitchen are flickering now. This is what it does to me. My girlfriend used to watch my dog. She won't anymore.
so, the amputation wasn't so much accident related, it was more like diabetic related.
Okay. Does the name begin with a B?
No.
Who's the guy that begins with a B? Bob, Bert? No. And I want to connect him with the month of October. Is your birthday in January?
No.
Girl, you're a tough cookie. You have such a wall.
I know, I'm trying to learn how to break it, kind of, open
Yep.
myself up more, but not open myself up where it
Reiki.
ends up being a bad thing.
Do you do
Yeah.
meditation?
I was gonna look into it.
Do it.
Yeah. If you
Definitely
Yeah.
go
do it.
on YouTube, if it was me, I first started with meditation to meet spirit guides. So I have an old Indian man, Malik. That's my spirit guide. So I started off with that. It's tough at the beginning, it takes a little while. Then I did meditation to meet my angels, meditation to meet spirit world. And as you get into it, it becomes like right now, if I'm sitting here, I could snap right into a meditation. And I'm a
Mhm.
motor mouth. I can't concentrate. It's like I got ADD. And but it's the most wonderful thing. I did not meditate before this and I'll be honest with you because I had a lot going on here. But I see a lot coming forward for you. You're also a healer. The reason I say that is anyone with an issue, whether it be alcoholism or drugs or abuse or anything, you can relate to them.
Mm-hmm.
And you can have that conversation and you're going to end up changing their life. You're a healer. But you did not have the easiest of life, but that's why. You've learned lessons along to make you stronger along the way. And this way you can share that with other people. But I feel like something big's going to come out of this.
Like positive or negative?
Oh, no, you're going to be positive. People are going to come to you all the time because you're straightforward. You don't pull no fucking shit.
Mm-hmm.
It just, this is what it is. Like it or not, been there, done that. I can help you if you want the help. You know, and that's what people need is tough love.
Mm-hmm.
That makes sense.
I'm sorry, these questions are stupid, but they come to me and I always promise I'll say it. Did somebody take your vehicle and get in an accident?
Yeah.
Because all I heard was ask about the car and how they took it and got in an accident. And you were pissed
Yes, I was.
because you had to save for that. They're still here though?
Yeah, that person's.
Yeah, because I'm feeling that the energy's still here with us. But somebody else who knows it has passed on. Do you have anything to ask me? Do you have any pictures or
No.
no? Girl, you got this. You're gonna be something good. I'm telling you. You're gonna help a lot of people.
Thank you.
No, just don't give up.
I never have.
And you never will.
Right, that's right.
Yep. That's a good attitude. You're a
Thank you
special
very much.
person. So well, it was nice meeting you.
You too. Thank you so much. Have a good night.
You too,
Thanks,
thank you.
Bridget. All right. Well, that was pretty good.
She had a
Um,
very heavy wall, that one. She's cute.
yeah. Honestly, a lot of people in the paranormal do it. A lot of people are skeptical because not everybody is honest. But
Yep.
sometimes it's
And
not always
I totally respect that too. So, you there?
is going to produce exactly what we want to hear all the time. It's
Mm-hmm.
it's in and out sometimes. Sometimes it's not always
Yeah.
sometimes I go sit in the dark and you don't always capture something. You don't always because there's not always something there. Maybe necessarily, I don't know.
Yeah.
But there's not always activity. So speaking of activity, we're gonna keep it moving. We have our next guest on. Her name is Deb. She's a lovely lady. Yeah, she's just great. I'm just gonna bring on Deb. Deb, welcome
You
to the
bet.
show.
Hi.
Oh,
Hi, Deb. How are you?
Good. I'm sorry it's a little dark. I had to come out to the car because I don't have great reception in the house.
Oh, that's fine.
that's fair.
So
That's fine.
I'm sitting in the car.
That happens here too.
No, that's fine. I'm sorry, but you might hear snoring. My Shih Tzu's laying here snoring away.
That's okay. You'd hear barking and snoring if my dogs would be barking and snoring and jumping everywhere in the house though.
May I ask if your dad passed on?
He did. Yeah.
Okay. And for some reason with him, I smell oil like a mechanic or like he worked with parts and I don't know why.
Not him. No. The other guy that I'm hoping to speak to, but not him.
Now the other guy, was he a heavy smoker?
Oh no.
Who's the heavy smoker?
No
It's a
one.
male, huh?
No one.
Oh, well, it's someone. I smell cigarettes, oil.
Um,
Had a bunch of keys,
um,
like maintenance or
oh, wait a minute.
something.
Hold on. I gotta open the door to the car and close it again to get the light back on. He had a bunch of keys. I think I still have the keys. But no smoking. No smoking, no drugs. The fact that I smoked pot 3 times in my life made him insane.
Oh no! Did he work where there was smoke, not meaning cigarette, but foggy, smoky? Because
No,
when he came forward, it was kind of like through a fog.
no, no. I don't think so.
And I'm getting the letters KC. Oops.
Oops. Made that.
No.
Hmm.
I have all his pictures here on my lap.
Oh, you can show them to me. I can see if I can get a connection.
I'll tell you, as soon as I took his pictures out, the dates you said made sense.
Yeah.
Made sense to him.
Hmm.
I mean, I got his pictures. I got his handwriting on my arm. I don't know. Can you? Hold on. I'll just leave the door of the car open. I got his handwriting on my arm. I got his handwriting on my leg. I don't know. Can you?
Yeah, I can. I'm gonna grab a picture. I'm gonna throw it up on here really quick.
There's his handwriting, but I'll get. I mean, there's a picture of him.
Just turn it a little bit. Oh, Amy. We
Oh,
lost.
picture of us.
Deb. No, here she comes. No, that's the next guest. So if you turn it a little bit, yep, there it is. There it is. All right. Unfortunately, there are medium. These are. It's great.
Can you see that
Great.
one?
She fell off the show. I'm gonna try and get her back on really quick. This has been the Ghost and the Goat. We are still running live. I am your host, Buddy Thayer. Our medium has fell off. Come back, Amy. I'm trying to get her back on. Just talk amongst yourselves. It closed on me. Reopen it. Come back on. Come back to us. I'm sorry. I'm speaking to her now. Apologize for the delay. We have 2 more people after you, and I'd like to get everybody on as well as Bams when it comes on. But I'm sending the link again. So, Deb, while we wait for Amy to possibly come back. Oh,
Yeah.
No, that's Bams. Our first guest, her name was Kara. Her husband is Joe. He knew Timmy very well, and he's the one. They're the ones that during our last investigation. Oh, you're back. Okay, during our last investigation, there, the pendulum spelled out BOY, and when we asked if he was having a baby boy next year, yes, it was allegedly it was the spirit of Tim in the Barnum Armory Drill Hall the whole time.
Favorite place in the whole world.
I love it there. I've been back in a number of months, but I hope to get back soon. I'm gonna bring him on. I think he's all right, he's not in the stable yet. He is on, but we're waiting for Amy to join us. Bams, welcome to the show. Amy's experiencing some technical difficulties, as I often do. She just dropped off. We're hoping she comes back on. It's not letting me. Oh God, please let it. Please talk amongst yourselves.
It's our
While I
favorite
try to-
segment, Buddy versus Technology. Here on
It's actually not Buddy this time. This is our guest
I
medium.
know. I'm sorry for the
He's some
tardiness.
really great reading so far.
Oh,
Just do
I
what
am.
you did before, and we can get on, and that'd be great. I am currently freezing in and out, so of course I'm in the wrong wherever we go. So I mean, this is just
It's all right,
and,
buddy.
and
It'll
out of
it'll-
anybody that I wanted to ever see get a live reading. I mean, there's a few more people left, and they're very special too. But this particular guest, I really wanted her to get a really good reading.
Me too.
Have somebody really special come through and shit. And yeah, I'm in and out, and I'm probably skipping left and right. So there's that. So how you doing, Bams?
I'm doing great. I'm doing
No,
great.
can
I'm
you hear
sorry
me?
for the tardiness. I don't know how much I've shared on here about this, but I'm in recovery. So I was asked to speak at a meeting, and anytime I get asked to speak at a meeting, I take that very seriously. It's an honor. So I had to do that. That's why I'm late.
That's a good reason.
So that's nice. Nice of you
Yeah,
to
I
share.
would I would
That's
think
good.
that was a fair reason. So yeah, it was good.
Yeah.
I'm on my day's a lot better than Drake's day, that's for sure. I don't know if you've seen any of that news going on right now. Nobody? You're not a big hip hop fan anyway. But for the hip hop
I'm
fans out
sorry.
there, that Kendrick Lamar and Drake beef took a turn for the worse, I guess. Somebody shot at Drake's house, and one of the security guards was
Jesus.
injured. There's been cops there all day. Yeah.
Jesus,
Oh, it's been
Not good.
that's
crazy.
horrible. But that's
It's been
gr-
crazy.
that's-
It's what I mean. Play stupid games, win stupid prizes.
yeah, right. Well, I guess so. Now these guys are Drake. He's a musician, right?
Yes.
Or allegedly, right?
Yeah.
And
He's a musician. He's a
the
very
other Lamar
talented.
guy. He's also a musician.
Kendrick Lamar, yeah, he's a rapper. He's
That I wouldn't know. But
yeah,
Drake,
he
I had no idea either.
Jake's more pop. You know what I mean? He's a lot popular. But for the hip hop fans, Kendrick Lamar is he's a rap fans rapper. You know what I mean? Like he is one of those guys, West Coast dude, just great lyrics, like works with Dr. Dre and Eminem. That's who brought him up.
Oh,
So
wow.
he's one of those guys, you know what I mean? And it's been all over the news. It's like if you follow it's been great.
Yeah.
It's so what do the person that was supposed to get a reading is not able to get back
Deb
on?
who's here, who was ready for a reading, right as Amy was about to start, bam, she got kicked off.
Oh, that's awful.
Right at the cusp. We had like a few were a little vague. She was on point with a few other people. Another guy, John, my friend John, came on immediately. You're a veteran. You were in the service. Yes, 20 years in the service. Knew some like intimate facts about his grandparents, but other people were kind of vague. So I mean, it's been an interesting, not everything's paranormal kind of a night. So it's
That's fair. That happens sometimes.
It's a good perspective either way. It kind of sucks that
I mean, sometimes I can really, I was on the ride soaring not last week now, like 10 days ago in Disney. And I literally could feel Tim there.
So Deb, how does this work? Do you just get feelings? Do you get like
that's not the medium.
like how
dude.
does
Oh, like I don't
What?
know, women I've lost.
Oh, wait.
what do
I'm
you say, buddy?
sorry. I was saying she's
Sometimes
not the
I
medium.
can really,
she's the guest.
sometimes I'll talk to him. I can hear him talking back to me. I
Yeah.
really can. Sometimes I, like on his anniversary of his death, I heard him say like, well, I brought you Eric. I sent you Eric, who's, the guy that I'm dating. That's all he said to me. Sometimes I really feel him there. There was a day last summer that I felt him there. I took the dog with me for a ride, and the dog and I went to Tommy's Clam Shack, and I never ever take this dog anywhere. The dog's 85 pounds. The dog could like knock me over and like leave me for dead. And the dog's the sweetest thing in the whole world. And Tim must have said, you got to take the dog with you. And I can feel him with me. And I felt him with me. I could feel him hugging me in the kitchen. But sometimes I feel him and sometimes I don't.
Well, we apologize for the technical difficulties. Are we waiting for Aaron to come on, buddy?
Yeah, Aaron is the next person getting a reading. Oh, hey, Aaron.
Oh,
Aaron's
oh,
husband
whoops.
is.
I keep. Now we're just playing. Now we're just playing tag. At this
playing
point.
games with Aaron now.
But we
Aaron,
blocked,
Aaron is actually her husband is one of my 3 dudes in the newest podcast here on a van down by the river. Now that we have time to talk about random shit, right? Since our medium is not with us at the moment, we premiere hopefully this week. Myself and the other 2 dudes go to a lovely brewery in Pawtucket, Rhode Island, and drink her lovely craft beers. I'm sorry to talk about this. So you just talking about recovery, and here I am talking about like drinking beer. But we hope to premiere this week, and
my issues aren't your problem, buddy.
What?
My issues
we got
aren't
once
your
a month. We get together with these amazing craft brewers and talk beer and delicious beer and drink it and talk to them about it. So Erin is her husband is one of my dudes, but yeah, it kind of sucks because now Erin's on and the medium's not. So ladies, I thank you for joining us this evening. I guess we're gonna put you guys on hold and hope that Amy comes through, and if she doesn't, I'm sorry and thank you for your time. I got nothing really else to add, Brendan. I don't know, man.
You want to hit on some sports while we wait? We can put them.
We can drop.
We can put them.
Put them in the green room. If you will.
Ladies, do me a favor. Just please don't leave. We're gonna stick you in the green room real quick, and then when the medium comes back, if she comes back, we'll bring you guys back on. So
I'm sorry again. A lot of people got reading.
No problem.
Play-Doh for tomorrow, but
buddy, it's probably my fault,
buddy.
On some distant, dude, what's going on, man?
Dude, all right. So obviously, big news coming out. The roast of Tom Brady.
That was epic. All right.
Did you watch it? Did you watch it?
I watched the whole thing.
Okay.
I took some notes. I did while I found it. Let me just say this.
That's the big news. That's the big news this week.
Disclaimer: if you don't know Buddy Thayer has spent the last 20 years shitting on Tom Brady as much as possible. I hate Tom Brady. I'm a Dolphins fan and have had not the best last 20 years as a Dolphins fan. So seeing Tom Brady fail and retire finally, not fail, but retire, was a joy for me. But after his retirement, dude, he's the best quarterback of all time, for sure. Because now I don't have to see him every Sunday. But the show, the roast, kind of plastic, kind of way too many jokes on Hernandez and Giselle.
Okay, thank you. This was something that I talked to. Thank you. So this is what I talked about.
How he had like little bitch tantrums on the sideline.
No, you can't. That's just you being fucking petty. But that's just you.
It was overdone.
The Hernandez jokes were not necessary. You want to throw 1 and 2 out there, like 1 or 2 out there.
Absolutely.
All right,
you got to make one of them for sure.
Like that's fine. Like obviously that's a topic that you know what I mean. It's sensitive or whatever. But to continuously go back to that was like, I was like, why? Like, and some of them were funny. Like Tony Hedgecliffe was funny. That joke about the stool, I thought that was funny.
The dude with the mustache and the short hair on the sides, he was kind of funny. The guy Jeff, he was stupid.
Yeah,
he was stupid.
The black girl sucked.
She was fucking hilarious though. She was great.
What?
Oh, I thought she was great, dude.
What?
The black girl with the glasses.
She was awkward.
Oh, I like her. See, I like awkward, stupid shit.
But it wasn't intentionally awkward. It was just weird.
It was good.
I did not like her set. I did not like her set at all. I didn't like hers. I didn't like Kim Kardashian's. I thought Kim's whole. I think that thing was weird.
That was definitely weird.
So I thought, as a diehard Patriots fan, and I'm a big Drew Bledsoe guy. Anybody that knows me knows how I feel about Drew. I feel like he didn't get a chance here. He never had like the offensive line or weapons that Tom was afforded later on in the career. Like he had Ben Coates and Shea Glenn, but that's about it. But no offensive line.
Right.
I thought Drew Bledsoe killed it. You know what I mean? Like I thought he killed it. I thought Belichick obviously was amazing.
Belichick was great.
Belichick in this role right now is beyond words. Like he is so great at what he's doing. Like him breaking down the draft was unbelievable. We talked about that. And then him being able to like poke fun of himself and like the situation was great. Like he had to know he was going to take some jokes, and he knows.
Yeah, of course not. Dude,
And he did.
they did stab at him. Edelman and Gronk, they stabbed at him a little bit. You got to expect that though. But oh my God, didn't they shit on Gronk the whole thing? I mean, I know he's a
Dude,
dumbass.
he's not a
He's not really
dumbass
the thought he
though.
was,
He's not a dumbass. So that's the thing. Like it's an easy joke to make, right? Because Gronk's
of
this
an
big
athlete,
hunk.
so people got a lot of balls. You know?
Well, Gronk is an easy guy to make fun of. His name is Gronk.
Yeah,
He's
'cause he's a
6'7".
dumbass,
He's a meathead, but he is far from
wicked.
dumb. That narrative should have been dead a long time ago, and it's like kind of annoying because Gronk is one of the only NFL players not even to spend a dime of his salary at all.
Right.
He
Right.
only used his sponsorship money. And he was one of the only people I know that was able to pick up the Patriots playbook and do it successfully, like quickly. His rookie year, I think he had like 10 touchdowns. Like
Yeah,
this
dumb
kid,
as
he was
right.
not only was he like freakishly gifted in the athletic, like he was stiff as a board, but he was able
Right.
to see things and do things that tight ends can't do. Like as far as all around tight ends go, he's the greatest of all time. I think, in my opinion, Rob Gronkowski. I love Travis Kelce. I'm not one of those guys. I am not one of those guys to go out and trash Travis Kelce. You'll never, ever hear that from me. That's not.
He can catch balls good. He can catch some good balls.
He does a lot more than that for that team, though.
I guess he can block a little bit too.
But,
I don't know, dude.
But Gronk, when you look at he was another offensive lineman when they wanted him to block. He could catch any ball that was thrown anywhere near his direction.
Yeah.
Like he was even in his later days in his career, after all the injuries and stuff, because like the injuries took a toll because of how he played.
Right. Oh, of course, his back was all fucked up, right? Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Well, I mean, he came into the league. He already had 2 back surgeries in college.
Right.
So
they hammered him.
Then he had the elbow, he had the knee, he had the back, he had. I mean, he took. He didn't want to go down. He kept taking hits after hit after hit after hit. So I mean, it all adds up. And I know, like they kind of, they talked about him a lot and stuff like that. Aaron Hernandez was the most gifted tight end I've ever seen on a football field. I do not want. I don't. And before people start going, "Oh, you glorifying," I'm not glorifying a murderer. Okay, that's not what I'm doing. He made whatever happened happen.
He had issues.
Not great.
You
know what I mean? Not great. He's a murderer.
He is
not
a
great.
Terrible
not
thing.
great. Piece of shit.
Traumatic brain injury is awful.
I grade it. Yeah, piece of shit's a piece of shit. I stand on what I stand on because I say the same thing about Chris Benoit. But he didn't kill his family. You know what I mean? Like,
that's true.
But if Aaron Hernandez would have stayed on the football field, Aaron Hernandez would go down as the greatest tight end to ever play football. Only because, and the Patriots saw this too, they gave him $45 million before they paid Gronk. They drafted him the same year.
Right,
They gave
Gronk was like Gronk.
Right.
It was all about Hernandez. I remember that.
Well, Hernandez had the speed. He was so fast, dude. He was like fast like a wide receiver. He could block like maybe not as good as Gronk, because Gronk, like I said, is like another left tackle. Like he was just a monster. So but he could still block, and you could put Hernandez in the backfield. He had hands, dude. He was so good. I did feel bad though that they kept going back to that well and just beating that up because it's like what's the point? And B, it's not the roast of Aaron Hernandez, dude. It's Brady.
Right.
And they did one or two jokes is fine, but 10, 12, come on.
Well, they touched on Deflategate a little bit. They didn't really go into it. And then that whole him getting up for who is it? That Jeff Cat, the bald guy that made the
Jeffrey Ross. Jeffrey Ross.
That was just like
I didn't, dude. I hoped that it was I don't think so. Jeffrey Ross came out and said that was fake.
Yeah.
Right. He said that it was part of the joke. That's what he said today on Dan Patrick, I think, or yesterday on Dan Patrick. I hope to God that's fake. Because if it's not, that's some soft ass shit. That you can't hear a joke about Robert Kraft. What are we doing?
Right. It was a ball bag who didn't want to pay you. Dude, it was all news. You get caught getting a hand job come on, dude. If you're gonna be that dumb to get caught doing that shit, you prefer to get your balls busted. And if you can't, don't be on.
I don't find any issue with what he did.
No,
As long
whatever.
as long as it's like, all right, here we go. As long as it's like consenting adults and it's not like sex trafficking and all that stuff, or like forced
Right,
labor like
right.
that.
'Cause nobody
That's
needs sex
that's a
trafficking.
different animal. But like
If
a rub and tug,
if it's okay, you know.
dude, a rub and tug is like one of the oldest things known to me. Like whatever, like it's it's not glorified. We shouldn't glorify it, but like it's really
Whatever.
it's a
Trust you.
victimless
Whatever,
crime.
whatever.
It's a victimless crime. It
Whatever.
doesn't affect anybody. It doesn't hurt anybody.
I thought it was hilarious when it happened.
I thought it was too.
I thought it embarrassed the Patriots.
I thought it was
I
hilarious,
love
and
it.
I'm not gonna put his name out there because he's watching this. But what I found was funny was one of the journeymen that I worked under as an apprentice.
Mhm.
Big fan of the big fan of the rub and tugs. Right?
Oh,
They interviewed him
aren't we
outside.
all?
They interviewed him right outside one of the
I've never
local
done that.
rub and.
In all
Listen.
honesty, that's awful. That's gross.
They no, it's not. It is what it is.
It's not
They-
awful.
they-
It's not for everybody.
Listen, they interviewed him right outside of Rub and Tug, out right on the outskirts of Cape Cod, while he was coming out
Oh.
about the craft thing, and he was
He
just
was-
like, "It is what it is." I was like, I called him. I was like, "You were coming out of that massage parlor, you creep!"
Ugh.
Dude, it was so funny.
Caught
like-
on air doing it too.
So like there was
That's
so
horrible.
much. I feel like there was so much stuff they could have went at. Like they went to the Giselle well a little too much.
Yeah, like who cares, dude? I mean,
Some of the jokes were funny, but then again, like you just keep going and over and over. There was so much material. The dude played for 23 years. Like that's the best you can do with some Aaron Hernandez jokes and some Giselle jokes. That's all you got. You could have. I mean, they did touch on Deflategate. They could have went after it a little more. They could have went after his text messages with those guys during Deflategate. I mean, there was so much room, but I also think because of Tom Brady's position, that he's trying to buy a piece of the Raiders and he is going to be an ambassador to the game of football.
Oh,
I think the NFL put some restrictions on what they could and couldn't talk about.
Yeah,
I truly believe that Goodell was like, all right, this is fine, but like this, and this, limit it. You know what I mean? Like
Goodell wasn't even there. He wasn't even there, was he?
Does he have to be there?
No, but I mean, anyone's gonna bust Brady's balls, dude.
No, I know, but I'm saying,
This
listen
guy
to what I'm
busted
saying,
his nuts
buddy.
his whole career.
Buddy, listen to what I'm saying. I'm saying the
listening, guys.
NFL did not want certain things brought up because of Tom Brady's position as an ambassador and,
Right, because he's gonna
and
be an
potential
owner.
owner of the NFL. So they were kind of like, hey, listen, like you can touch on it, but like let's not go too deep. You know what I mean? Like let's not do that. And also,
Right.
I just watched. So Julian Edelman has Drew Bledsoe on his podcast this week, which I listened to I listened to a little clip. Can you hear me? My headphones.
I can hear you. Yeah,
All right, my headphones kind of cut out on me.
you're all right, Brandon.
They do this, but so Brady and not Brady, Jesus, Bledsoe and Edelman were talking that Robert Kraft showed up right in the middle of one of Belichick's stories, and everybody was like, "This is awkward." Like, you know what I mean? Like we're standoffish about it.
Yeah,
I think Robert Kraft is shooting himself in the foot constantly after this whole. He's mishandled this Belichick thing to the umpteenth degree.
completely.
And
dude.
he
That whole-
continues to like mess it up. Like every turn of the way, he seems to fuck it up. Like, just shut up.
Ugh,
Stop making it awkward. You know what I mean?
that whole Apple thing was that was horrible.
That-
dude.
And that was hilarious. That was a great joke by Belichick.
Of course,
That was
he stuck it
well
right in the
played.
ass.
Yeah, that was well played. But that roast, I mean, it's going to be talked about for a long time. I think it was a very good roast. To the people saying that it brought comedy back and uncensorship, shut the fuck up. Because, first of all, Dave Chappelle and Bill Burr dropped 2 specials a couple years ago
Yeah,
that kind of went at the whole cancel culture thing and just said we don't care anymore. And I think comedians have been on this path for the last 2-3 years of like unapologetically going at it with jokes. This Brady thing was just one of the more noticeable recent things, but it wasn't the start of anything. So like, let's just pump the brakes. This is why I find New England fans, and I'm a New England fan. This is why I find New England fans almost insufferable. Like, it is, shut up. It is so
they just
bad.
need to move on with shit now.
Like Brady's one of the greatest of all time, hands down. Can you get the people that get upset about comparing him to Mahomes?
Yeah.
Guess what? Who's that?
Big shout out
Oh,
to Jeff Aaron.
I'm looking at that. So, anyway, yeah, people comparing Brady to Mahomes. Yeah, guess what? Early in his dude, early there. What do you mean? There's no comparison?
There's no comparison yet, dude. There's no
buddy.
comparison.
Buddy, how many Super Bowls?
There's no comparison yet,
buddy.
dude.
Buddy, how many?
I hate Tom Brady. You know this. Everybody knows this. I hate Tom Brady.
Buddy, how many Super Bowls does Pat Mahomes have?
3, right? He has 3.
How many years has he started?
Oh, like 5, right? 5.
In those 3 Super Bowl wins, right? Take Brady's first 3. Take Mahomes' first 3. Who didn't have a 10-year? Not yet. You know what I mean? He hasn't been in the league that long.
He had a whole.
That's not what I'm saying. Yeah, that's not what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is that the Chiefs, listen, the Chiefs rely on Pat Mahomes a lot more than Tom Brady was relied on in the early years of the Patriots. When the Patriots relied on Brady to get Super Bowls, wasn't great. You know what I mean? 2007, 2011, they built monstrous offenses and failed. They failed. They failed against the Eagles with their offense too, because they let up a strip sack at the end of the game. I don't want to hear anything about the defense of Malcolm Butler. Malcolm Butler. They couldn't. Oh my God, this Malcolm Butler thing drives me nuts. It's the dumbest fucking narrative I've ever heard in my entire life. Malcolm Butler. Hold on. Malcolm Butler got torched 3/4 of that season. Opening game, Antonio Brown almost went for 200 yards when he was supposed to be a shutdown corner. Malcolm Butler is a slot corner at best. He's not a lockdown. And that year, those Eagles and Doug Peterson had a great game plan, and they just torched them. They torched our defense, and it was what it was. Brady had a great game statistically. It was unbelievable. But, yeah, I'm not even touching that. But anyway, I think it's too early for people to be like, Mahomes could never pass. But shut the fuck up. Because Mahomes has already got 3, and there's no stopping him. It doesn't look like you can stop him because this was the year that he looked more vulnerable than ever. And then when they needed him, he showed up. He was unreal with a lackluster offense and one weapon.
He did have shit for receivers. I'll give you that. He had a good running back. He had a decent defense.
Yes, Isaiah Pacheco's a very good running back. Yeah.
He has a Hall of Famer coach wiping his bottom for him.
Let's go. Okay, I don't know about that, but Andy Reid. How many Super Bowls did he have without Pat Mahomes?
Like 0, right? Oh, 0. Yeah, right. Him and D-Nab didn't win anything, right?
And this is what aggravates me because people always say Brady without Belichick, he could have did it, and then they're going, yeah, but Pat Mahomes, he's got Andy Reid, and all. Like, okay, you can't do this because Brady relied on his defense a lot early on in his career because that's how the NFL was geared because it wasn't an offensive ready NFL yet. It just wasn't. And then when they relied on him, he did well, and he was clutch. Brady was clutch. That's what he did the first, I want to say probably 8 to 9 years of his career, the early years, like in 2007, so 7 years, I guess, because he came in 2000. And then 2007 was like his first year. They tried to do it in 06. They didn't have the weapons. So 2007 was like the first year they relied on him pretty heavy and like tried to put it in his hands.
Yep.
So, but coming right out of the gate, Pat Mahomes, top 15 pick, he was relying on pretty heavy once he got the reins. Like once he took over for Alex Smith, it was go time. It was go time, dude. And he was one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL. He puts up ungodly numbers, which again, some of it is due to the fact that the NFL has changed over the years. Like it's become very offensive friendly. But Pat Mahomes is that dude. And he will go down as the greatest quarterback of all time when he's done. I think if he gets why? How can you say no? He's already got 3 rings.
I'm not saying no. I'm just saying I don't know.
He's got 3 rings already. He looks impressive. He's putting up all these numbers.
I just don't like him. I did the same thing with Brady, but I'll pee on him for his old.
I mean, I don't like Mahomes either, but I respect the shit out of him. And I love watching him play. To me, honestly, if we're gonna if you strip away the rings, right? say, because I think it's tough to say that an athlete is just relied on his rings. I think it's like an all-encompassing thing. I think the
Mhm.
rings are like the cherry on top and maybe a tiebreaker. I don't
Sure
think you
is.
can just I don't think you just rely on rings. Just like in the NBA, we don't hear Bill Russell being talked about as the greatest. It's always
True.
or
True.
Robert Horry. You know what I mean? Robert Horry has 7 rings. You know, you talk about Jordan getting 6. And you talk about LeBron's failures when he gets to the big dance. And there's just like there's so many aspects to it. So like when people are like,
Yeah.
yeah, Brady's got 6 rings, Brady's got this. Yeah, okay, but Pat Mahomes is doing it right now in real time. I just wish that people would stop comparing and just appreciate the greatness. Like Pat
Oh
Mahomes
God.
could possibly, as long as he doesn't get hurt, Pat Mahomes will probably go down as the greatest quarterback of all time. But
Oh, you heard it here, guys. You heard
in
it
the
first.
same listen, in the same
I don't
note,
know, man.
there's another guy that we don't even know yet that will be better than Pat Mahomes. It's just how it works, dude. As athletes get bigger, faster, stronger, and smarter, I mean, to
But
me,
how much? All right.
if
How
you
much?
take away the rings, right? Because, and I've said this before, and a lot of people don't like it because they don't like the person. Aaron Rodgers is the greatest quarterback I have ever seen play the game of football. He doesn't turn the ball over.
Oh,
He doesn't make stop making that face.
Oh,
Dude,
oh,
who was his
oh.
head coaches, buddy? Who was his head coaches? Was it anybody on the likes of Andy Reid or Bill Belichick? Really?
No.
It was Mike
No.
McCarthy.
Mike
That was his
McCarthy,
best
yeah.
one. You know what I mean?
He's
And
a
then this
chump.
little kid that's running Green Bay right now. Like, and other than Devontae Adams,
Yeah.
who was his weapons? Like he never really had any weapons. In the only year that he had a top 5 defense, which Brady was able to have, I think 10 or 12 of those because
Yeah,
of
dude, he
Bell.
plays for the Jets. You're not going to get nothing good out of me, though. He plays for the Jets. You're asking. It's like, why don't we just
He's
talk
played
about
for the Jets for 4 minutes. You
Oh,
can't.
dude,
You
it's
didn't
enough.
like him before. Take the
I did.
rose
I didn't.
glasses
I
off.
didn't. I didn't. I
Well,
don't. I
I'm
don't like.
saying, buddy, what I'm saying is this dude throws. He's so accurate with the football. He has such a strong arm, and he's got a good mind for the game.
I'm not doubting any of that. He is a great quarterback.
Take away all your fake nonsense bullshit that you hate him on, because a lot of people I have this argument with. It's so annoying. It's so annoying because obviously, and I know I'm really biased. I'm really biased.
Yeah, you kind of have some bias going on.
I
Yeah.
love Aaron Rodgers. I love Aaron Rodgers. I think, like I said, I think he's pretty noted.
Is it his beard? Do you have beard envy?
I have Aaron Rodgers envy. I just think he's great.
You can't
But
throw a football. Yeah,
I
no,
also
can't
think
do
he's
that.
one of the most misunderstood athletes of this time.
Okay.
Because
All right.
3/4 of the stuff that people say about him, oh, he says this, he does this. No, he doesn't. He never has. And they're like, well, yeah. I said, okay, show me. Then prove it. Because honestly, any kind of Aaron Rodgers content.
When's the last time Aaron Rodgers won a Super Bowl? When was the last time that happened?
It was against the Steelers, right? With a 2000.
He's got one. He's got one ring.
Yeah, he had one top 5 defense, and that was the year he won Super Bowl.
Okay. All right.
He never had the teams in Green Bay.
I hope he doesn't do it now with the Jets, because I'll do it. I'll just.
Here's what I've said. Here's what I've said to Patriots fans, and they hate this. In 2007, if you put prime Aaron Rodgers on the 2007 Patriots, do they lose to the Giants?
I'm sorry. One more time. Just
you put prime Aaron Rodgers on the 2007 Patriots. Do they lose to the Giants?
Oh no, I don't. No,
they don't score, and they don't only score 14 or 17 points. It's just not what happens. Patriots fans hate when I say this. Like, and listen, I love Tom Brady. Like, you know this. I love Tom Brady. I'm a diehard Patriots fan. I do not like how Tom Brady left the Patriots. I thought he was a prima donna bitch. And I think what happened behind closed doors, and I don't know if we're ever going to get the real truth out of it. I don't. Unless Bill writes the book. If Bill writes the book, we'll get a lot more. But then again, we're only getting one side. You know, so we kind of got to be careful with that.
Right. Not to interrupt really quick. I'm just going to throw this curveball out there. I have not heard back from the medium as of yet. I'm sorry that we have a few people waiting for readings that didn't get them.
Hopefully she's okay, and hopefully like she does come back on. But she
Right.
might be restarting her
was
stuff too.
it was a good evening of readings. I'm sorry it wasn't everything for everybody that came on. Thank you for coming on. Thanks everyone.
Well,
for
we can try to reschedule her at another time too.
You'll be the people who got missed out tonight and the people who volunteered.
Yeah.
Like, oh my god, an outpouring of people volunteering in the last couple of days. So you'll be first on my list. We will do this. I have somebody next month coming on to do readings, and
Nice.
maybe she'll come through to you. So that's stay tuned to a Van Down by the Rev podcast, and you can bounce, you can stay, whatever you want to do. So there we go.
Anyway, back to Aaron Rodgers being the greatest of all time. But I think, you know what I mean? It's all debate anyway, because it's all personal opinion.
Right. And honestly, you're comparing, you're saying like 2007. 2007 was, did Aaron Rodgers play in 2007?
No. What I'm saying is if you put a prime Aaron Rodgers on that football team, what happened?
Oh, no, I know what you're saying. I'm just
That's all I'm saying.
I don't know if you can compare a modern.
And he did
not that it's changed that much in 15 years, but it's
Aaron Rodgers was the backup in Green Bay in 07.
It's changed enough where like players like Brady, yeah, I'll give him that. He took hammers. He got beat. Quarterbacks nowadays are very well protected, much more protected than they were 15 years ago. So
in early Tom Brady years. But let's not pretend that Tom Brady didn't get favorable calls.
Of course he did.
When Patriot fans like, Mahomes plays in the soft NFL. Well, guess what? There's a lot of, you know why you can't hit below the knee of a quarterback? Because of Tom Brady.
Yeah, right.
It was called the Tom Brady rule. Like, you know what I mean? Because they don't want their superstars hurt, because that's where the money is.
Right, of course.
Which makes sense.
Comebacks, you can't tell me every one of them wasn't like, let's tell them get a few.
Right.
I don't know.
Right.
Makes a good storyline. Makes a good drama. I don't know.
They always want the best for the quarterbacks. That's just how it is.
Right. They are the prima donnas.
And it's not a bad thing.
Them and the kickers who really aren't athletes, but we'll just call them like. They have special shoes.
Don't start that. Kickers are athletes, and kickers
no. All right. Kickers are like, you talk about prima donnas of the NFL. Oh my God, you can't even like fart crooked next to a kicker without getting a penalty called on.
Well, they're in a very prone position too.
Prone position,
buddy. Okay, punters. I think punters are literally the most underrated position on the football field.
Right, punters are really good because they hit that ball right in that sweet spot.
I think punting is first of all, kicking is really difficult. Punting
I can't say I'm really good at kicking. I probably try and kick a ball and like I hit my car before I hit in the parking lot before I hit the goalpost. So that's fair. And I never played soccer. I was the lineman. I was never a kicker. Although I made fun of their special shoes and their ridiculous penalties called against them. They are players too, Brendan. They do have special helmets too.
But they're also they're invaluable to a team. If you have a good kicker and a good punter, you can do a lot of good things.
That's true. The kicking rule has changed a little bit in the NFL.
How do you feel about that? How do you feel about that? Do you know what it is?
Yeah. So I kind of.
It's like the old XFL one. So like
right.
The players start. I think the defense starts on the 30 or 40, but they can't move until the ball is caught.
Right, and if it's in the sweet spot, they have to return it. And if they don't,
they don't have to return it. They don't have to.
If it rolls in the end zone, what is it? They goes up to the 40 or something. It's to make the return team do more on. Or a fair catch every time.
So the new rule is, per the NFL, the new format will see the ball being kicked from the kicking team's 35-yard line. Every player on the kicking team, other than the kicker himself, will now line up at least 1 foot on the returning team's 40-yard line. but
wow.
they cannot go until the ball is touched by the receiving team.
Okay. Take less intensity out of those kids. Those are like some whole. If you ever watched football, if you ever seen it like firsthand, like up close and personal, the kickoff returns, you get these big dudes running at each other. Holy shit, dude! It is a violent game. I'm not
your
gonna say it's
internet,
not, but go on.
your internet is coming in and out.
Yeah, dude. I can't make people in my household like not use the internet while I'm on the line, if you will. So it's like Mom, get off the phone. It's just like it's killing me. It's like back to AOL dial-up days.
I'm gonna have to teach you how to do like a hotspot off your phone or something.
Oh, something, dude.
Yeah.
Fucking rescue me from this internet crisis.
But yeah, I think that what you just brought up about the kicking rule is without a doubt the reason that the NFL is doing this.
Yeah,
it's to stop the concussions and like the serious head trauma, and
yeah, there's some.
Because those, I mean, if you're running full speed and like you're saying, dude, these are some of the freakest athletes. Like these guys are
Right.
flying down the field and they're just hitting you, and you're just getting your momentum. You know what I mean? You have momentum coming this way, momentum going that way. It's a car crash, and I don't hate it. I don't love it, but I don't hate it. You know what I mean?
Well, you're not supposed to lead. Lead with your helmet, lead with your head.
But that doesn't matter. I mean, you
Because
still
I remember
making
it
contact.
when old man coach taught me how to play football. That's how I was taught.
When I was taught how to tackle, right? I played center and right tackle on the offense, and I played defensive tackle and D end on the defense. That's what I played. When I was taught how to tackle, I was always taught helmet to the football and then shoulder in the body.
Yes. Oh yeah.
I'm sure you were taught the same thing.
Yeah.
Like that was just the fundamentals. But when you're flying down the field at the speeds that these guys are flying down, sometimes shit happens. You know what I mean?
Shit does happen.
And you're gonna get head collisions. And the people complaining about it, like these guys signed up for this. They knew what they were signing up for.
Yeah.
So what are we doing? Like, but I don't mind the NFL like trying to make rules a little safer. Some of them are a little ridiculous. The hip drop tackle. I feel like if you're gonna make a rule, it should be more black and white, and you shouldn't leave so much room for interpretation to the refs.
What for all those watching who don't know exactly what a hip drop tackle is, Brendan, could you demonstrate maybe with a teddy bear, or maybe tell people what it's like?
I got something better than a teddy bear.
Oh, cool. Oh, great. Live demonstrations here on the Ghost and the Goat. Stay tuned as Brendan tackles his.
In true fashion, in true mid-card fashion, I have a wrestling buddy.
Oh, God, of course.
And this is an original one, too, by the way, from the...
Oh, yeah, it is. Yeah, it looks... Oh, my God, I want to just do a leg drop to somebody.
I can't see what year it was made, but probably in the early 90s. So what a hip drop tackle is, all you do is when the offensive player is running and you wrap your arms around his waist.
Yep.
What the NFL is trying to stop is from the defensive player to literally take his legs out, like stop the defensive player from like dropping all his weight and just like
and taking him down.
Yeah, and taking him down that way. Instead of just like you could still tackle and like whip him around, you could like bring him down. Yeah. What they don't want is like you forcibly just dropping your weight onto their legs, because that's, I mean, it caused a lot of issues last year, like between torn Achilles to like knees and all. And like we saw Mark Andrews right before the playoffs have the hip injury because of the hip drop tackle. But my problem is like there's so much room for interpretation in how they wrote the rule. It's just you're asking for people to get upset about the rule, and it's not great. I'm trying to pull it up right now on exactly how a hip drop tackle occurs when a defender wraps up the ball carrier, like I just showed, and rotates or swivels his hips, unweighting himself, dropping onto the ball carrier's legs during the tackle. So it's pretty much exactly what I described, just a little betterly phrased. But yeah, they're just trying to prevent like those kind of injuries and like we were saying before with the quarterbacks, it's like you want your prime players to
I don't
play.
know how practical that's going on.
What happened?
We'll see what happens. I guess we'll see what happens. I guess I don't know how practical it is.
I don't know how it's gonna look.
Right.
Like I don't know when it's gonna be called or it's just gonna be weird. I don't like when the refs are given too much leeway. I feel like you're just setting them up for failure.
Hmm.
I don't know. It's just weird.
We'll see
But
what happens.
dude, there's so much when it comes to football. The receiver that the Bills drafted. Have you watched any of the clips from this kid coming out?
Yeah, they gave the pick to KC, and everybody was mad because they gave
But the
away,
wide
right?
receiver, yeah, I don't care about that. But I'm talking about like the actual player that they drafted.
No, I
Have
didn't.
you?
I didn't think of it.
Oh man, dude, this kid is. I'm gonna send you some clips after this. This kid is electric. He is electric. He is
I
so
don't like
much.
the Buffalo Bills either.
What is
Total
your
offense.
problem?
Total offense to Bills fans. I hope you all get offended
Why?
and piss your pants because they are members of the AFC East BAMs,
So what?
which is also
So
my
what?
beloved Dolphins, and they have delivered my beloved Dolphins heartbreaking losses over the years, and I wish them all diarrhea, and I hope they all have diarrhea mid-game and they all poop down their legs, because
So the only thing
and
that
the Dolphins win.
the
I
only
don't want
thing
to
I
see
don't
them
like
lose.
about the Bills is their fans. I
Oh,
can't
I hate
stand
the Bills Mafia. I hate the Bills
I-
Mafia.
Can't stand them. But
They're
other than that,
obnoxious. They're almost as bad as New
other
Jersey.
than that, how can you hate the Bills? It's not like they've ever won a fucking thing.
Right? They usually choke. They do.
Usually, they
Whether
always
it's wide right or not, they do
They
usually
lost.
choke.
They lose 4 straight Super Bowls in the '90s, right?
Yes, 88 to 92, I believe.
Right. In all this,
Washington, the Giants, the New Jersey Giants, beat them once, and
Dallas,
Dallas twice in their prime when they were America's team.
yeah.
Was awful. Fuck them. I hate the
The
Cowboys.
Bills fans are annoying because they act like they've won stuff. That's the only thing. But they've
I
never
do
won.
know area, and I honestly I rooted for the Chiefs when the Pats were on top. I rooted for the Bills when the Chiefs were on top. So you kind of want to see. I guess there's a small part of me that wants
Why
to
don't
see
you
Jags
like
win,
dynasties or success?
because it's not my own. Yeah.
But you got to
It's,
appreciate greatness when it's
oh,
here.
no, I was brought up to hate the Yankees because they won like 37
That's
last
different.
year.
That's different. The
Yeah,
Yankees Red Sox thing is completely
fuck
different.
the Yankees. Fuck Don
The
Zimmer.
Yankees, yeah, the Yankees Red
Raiders
Sox
should
thing.
have peed on him when he threw him to the ground.
I
hate.
understand. So I
goddamn
understand the Yankees
Aaron
Red
Boone.
Sox things.
Oh,
I get that hatred.
oh,
I do. And because I think Yankees fans are some of the worst.
oh, douchebags, dude, douchebags.
This is
But-
coming from a Philadelphia Phillies fan, by the way. So take it for whatever it is.
They're in New York. They're not like playing in another state saying, "Hey, we're New Yorkers too." No, you've been in New Jersey for 50 years, dude. That's you're a Jersey boy. You're not a whatever.
What are you talking
know,
about? Are you talking about the Jets again?
the Jets and the Giants, dude. Yeah, they've been in Jersey
Who
forever.
cares?
And
Who cares?
they still rep the New York. Nah, they're
Buddy,
not in
where
New
are
York.
they going to put a stadium in New York? There's nowhere to put it.
Well, dude, they gave it up and they moved across the East River, so now they're New Jerseyites. Now they're Jersey boys.
Jersey and New York are the same thing. It's like, and you're gonna hate this, but Matt, buddy, they're the same thing.
No,
Yes,
no,
they are.
ma'am. No,
Except
Jersey
New
is not.
Jersey is worse. That's it.
Jersey is New York is classic. People go to New York to see the sights. People go to New Jersey because they're driving through to get to New York, or they're driving through to
what?
get to Philly. Nobody cares about New Jersey. I'm sorry, people from our guests last week were from New Jersey, so I can't really say
No,
that. But
listen,
oh,
buddy,
good lord, no,
while I get what you're saying, and I completely do,
yeah,
New Jersey and New York are like essentially the same thing. They are. It just is what it is. Now that being said, Connecticut sucks. Connecticut sucks
does
worse
suck.
than it.
I don't like Connecticut at all.
Why can't New Jersey and New York take Connecticut?
That'd be a fair trade, dude. They split it up, or maybe we could get a little bit. Rhode Island.
No, I don't
here,
even
we get a
want
little
it.
bit,
Fuck.
'cause
F
Maybe
that.
mass
Just
grab a little bit because you guys bought them to. I don't know, dude. Something
give it away. Give it
work something out.
away.
Maybe I don't know.
Yeah, give it away because Connecticut sucks.
Fire Island. I mean, Foxwoods is fun from time to time, but that bingo's
Yeah,
good.
that's
But the
the
last time I went
Indians.
to
That's not
Foxwoods,
even
that
skill
buffet was
moves.
closed, and as a fat kid, that's really the only reason I'm going to Foxwoods, dude. But anyway, I digress.
Oh, the Philadelphia Phillies are the best team in baseball, by the way.
Oh God.
I really want you to know that because they're killing it right now.
Won, but the Phillies have won consistently, playing the Dodgers
Dude,
and stuff, and
the last since we signed Bryce Harper, I think 2020 was like the turning point of our team, and 2021 is really when it started taking off. But my God, dude, they're better than I thought they were. I didn't think this year because we didn't add any pitching really. Like they're 20 right now. They're 26-11.
Oh wow,
they've won.
That's to be happy about.
Their last 10 games, they're 9-1.
All right, that's nice.
I think they've won 15 out of the last 17. They're the
you guys are in the same division as the Atlanta Braves, are like the best team in baseball. So I mean,
the Braves are the best team in baseball. Is that what you just said?
People say, people say.
You didn't just say that. Wait, you didn't just say the Braves are the best team in baseball. Oh, you want to talk? Oh, I hate the Braves and I hate.
I'm just saying what I've heard, dude. I'm not. Don't quote Buddy. Buddy says the Braves are the best team in baseball.
I have friends.
He's an American League guy, but
I have friends that are Braves fans, and I don't have any friends that are Mets fans because I hate the Mets that much. But the Braves can't beat Philadelphia in the playoffs. They're not the best team in the division. Like, yeah, they won the division last year. Woo! And then
didn't they win the World Series last year? No, they didn't win it last year, right? They won the year before, right? Year before? No, they haven't won yet.
3 years ago, was it?
3 years ago? Yeah, they did win, right? Yeah, they did win. I got a friend who was a Braves fan. I want to say they've won recently.
Yeah, but that's like a few years ago.
All right, no.
2021 they won.
All right, it's a couple of years ago. We're in the beginning of the season. Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, things change in baseball. I get it.
Right. That was 3 years ago, and then the Braves have been. I mean, the Phillies are just their daddy in the playoffs the last couple of years. They just.
Well, it's early in baseball. What it's not early in, Bams, is basketball and hockey. We here in the Northeast are privy to have two teams that are in the playoff race. The Celtics are doing pretty well. The Bruins almost gave me the shits the other night, but that was a great game, dude.
I am not a hockey guy.
Oh, okay. Then we don't have.
No. I'll talk about it because they win 5-1.
Yeah, dude. That was they won. Yeah, against. I was talking about Game 7 versus Toronto. I almost shit myself. That was it was like.
So are you a big Bruins guy, buddy?
No, I'm not a big Bruins guy. I jump on the bandwagon when they're in the playoffs. I went to a game on Saturday for the Providence Bruins. I go see them about once a month. Really good game against the Hartford Wolfpack. They beat them up like 6-0, dude. It was a slobber knocker. But the 2 days before, the Wolfpack won one. So this is round 2 of the AHL playoff series. The 5th seeded Hartford.
I don't think anybody wants to hear about the Providence.
Yeah, no, they're not. The Bruins are okay. They're doing okay. The P Bruins.
But they won 5-1 last night, right? The Boston Bruins.
Yeah, they did. Against Florida, who knocked them out of the playoffs last year. So
right, because they choked last year, right? They had
choked last year. They were the underdogs going into the game too, and I'm not gonna touch this one. I don't want to. I go on Sportsbook and I'm like, no, buddy, don't do it, because the Bruins are like.
They scared. So I obviously see the results and stuff like that, and it's always great to have a Boston team. Because it's always fun.
2 of them. So,
but if they would have lost in Game 7 after having a 3-1 lead for the second year in a row, they would have had to blow that team up. There was no way they could have kept that team together after blowing 2 3-1 series leads.
Right.
But I'm
Right.
glad they did. And then they came out swinging in the first game against Florida, which was great to see. They just put pucks on net, which is something that they haven't been doing, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
Right.
only know because I have friends that follow them closely and I see all their posts.
Yep. And Swayman, they finally decided to stick with Swayman and not go the back and forth shit. And
is that a
you know,
definite? Are they definitely not going back to the back and forth?
I don't know. They've been with Swayman in the last couple games, so I'm hoping that
Mhm.
I'm hoping they stick with him. He's been consistent. I think he's a better goalie. I don't know. And what a kick in the balls it is for a goalie. Not to like, all right, you're our guy. We trust you. You get in there and you lead the team every night. Forth,
Oh,
and
you're
I
right.
don't know. I
That
think
sucks.
it's not really messing with the psyche because he's playing pretty good in net. But I don't know, dude. It's I don't think it's cool. But whatever. I'm not a hockey coach, or I don't.
So I would understand. I get your point, but I think it would be more valid if they didn't do it all season. I feel like all season they rotated these guys pretty like the way they have.
Yep.
So I mean, and if Swayman is their guy going forward, then you're right. I think they should just stick with him if he is that much better than the other dude. I don't know much about him, so I can't say yes or no. But the other guy got lit up in game 5 and 6, right?
Yeah, dude. They oh man, that was ugly.
Yeah.
Yeah, they lost. It's not cool.
No, they almost blew it. But on another good note, the Celtics beat the Cavs by 25 tonight. Unreal.
Oh, by that much. That's pretty incredible.
This goes out to all the, and by the way, we all know how I feel about Ohio, so this couldn't happen to a better group of scumbags. You pieces of shit. There is nothing good that comes from Ohio. If you're watching this from Ohio, thank you, but you're living in just filth.
Really? There's nothing.
Ohio is nothing redeeming about Ohio.
They have
It
the
is-
Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Which
So
is nice.
what? That's in Cleveland, which is a bigger shithole than Jersey.
Oh wow, that's
Oh,
rough, man.
dude.
Cleveland. I
would-
have Cleveland.
Buddy, I would rather camp out in the middle of Baltimore than go back to Ohio. I fucking hate Ohio. But also,
It's a
that
long
being
state to
said,
drive through. I'll give you that.
it's not just the driving, it's just everything about them is mid.
Okay.
There's nothing
Starting with
great about Ohio.
The Ohio State Buckeyes, perhaps.
Fuck the Buckeyes. Fuck the Buckeyes. I can't say that enough. First of all, they're the worst fan base in all college football. They're the most annoying. They do that stupid thing. Buddy, you could be going out to eat. Oh, where'd he go? I lost Buddy. Buddy will be back. His device isn't connected. So I'm guessing he's had some issues. But as far as Ohio goes, I can't stand Ohio State fans. They do that stupid OH thing. I feel like I'm getting on this like whole different topic that I didn't really want to hit today. I'm reading some of your comments now, but yeah, Ohio State sucks. Their fans suck. The state of Ohio sucks. Just get out of here. It's brutal, dude. And I'm glad because their fans were chanting, "We want Boston, we want Boston, we want Boston." And well, you got them. And how did that work out for you now that you just got smoked by 25 in the first game of the next round? Hey, buddy, I continue to go off on how much I hate Ohio. I hate Ohio. I just do.
Yeah,
Like I said,
you did mention that a few times, I think.
well, buddy, they have that stupid chant, right? And I just said this. They have that stupid chant. You could be going out to eat on a Thursday night. The game's not even on, and they're going, O-H-I-O. And they think they're clever. And then the big thing is, like, they might have copyrighted it. I don't know. They tried to copyright the word "the" because of the Ohio. Get the fuck out of here. You fucking losers, dude. By the way, just by the way, Michigan handed them that ass the last few years, and I'm not even a Michigan fan, and I root for the Wolverines wholeheartedly every year when it comes time I'm trying to. When's the last time Ohio State? Because I don't know the exact day Ohio State beat Michigan. Just for you Ohio State fans, it's been a long time. I think it's been like 3 or 4 years, dude, since they beat Michigan, which I know just irks them because they can't stand Michigan. But anyway, and they celebrated that. This is where the hatred comes from, buddy. Is in 2001 they played. You're on mute or something.
Oh,
I
yeah,
can't
please
hear.
don't.
There you go. I can hear. I heard you a little bit. But the big thing for me. So the big thing for me when it comes to Ohio is in 2001 they celebrated a championship when they beat my Miami Hurricanes.
Right. I was just gonna ask you that.
That's where the hatred originates from. Because let's call a spade, that wasn't a pass interference. They didn't earn that trophy, right? And that was the latest flag that I have ever seen in the history of football. They were literally celebrating the win, and then they were like, nah, penalty. Awful call. They didn't deserve it. And then the fans celebrated like they actually deserved it. Like, you didn't, you scum buckets. Like,
wow.
Oh God, I hate them. But
the
yeah,
Hall of
anyway,
Fame, that's also in Ohio. That's a lovely institution.
Yeah, in Canton, which is supposed to be really nice, actually. I don't know.
Yeah, I've been there.
But that's like closer to the Pennsylvania border than it is in Ohio, really.
Like it's right in the middle of the state, but yeah, it's close.
I hate Ohio. But anyway, the whole reason I went off on this rant was because they were hello. They were chanting. Cavs fans were chanting, "We want Boston," before game one and after the last game that they beat Orlando. Be careful what you wish for, because the Boston Celtics are a much better team. I don't see how the Boston Celtics lose until they get to the finals. And the only way I think because the challengers are all taken out. Milwaukee lost, right? They're done.
Yeah.
They've already beat Miami. There's nobody left in the East, at least. The only team that does scare me is Minnesota Timberwolves, because they've been handing Denver that ass, dude. They look so good right now. But I don't think they can. Right. I think Denver has like a bigger lineup because of Jokic. And the Celtics don't do that. They have more stretch fours than fives, and they're faster. And I think if the Celtics go with like a small ball lineup, they're just going to outpace them. That's just my opinion. If Minnesota gets there, but Anthony Edwards looks like $1 million. That kid looks special, man. He's the next face of the NBA. I think he's so good.
LeBron is going somewhere else. LeBron is probably going to play again. Yes.
Oh, that's another thing. Yeah, thanks Ohio for that. LeBron James.
Ugh.
Dude, he's so insufferable. He is arguably one of the top players I've ever seen play the game of basketball, and I used to be a big fan of him. But he constantly talks and he contradicts himself constantly. Like, it's always like something stupid. He just lies, and he's just awful at it too. I don't get it. Like, when he beat Golden State when he was down 3-1, he talked about how it was a great accomplishment. Nobody else has done this, right? And it was like the biggest thing since sliced bread. Now he lost in the playoffs, and he goes, "It's just basketball."
For sure. Yeah, right.
Okay, it's just basketball because you lost? Or, like, just be consistent with it, dude. And then the funniest thing is, and I always enjoy this, is when the playoffs come around and LeBron's fake reading the books.
Mm-hmm.
That's my favorite. That's my favorite, because he never gets past the first page. It's like he's not reading it, just like, and I know what he's doing. And to be honest, like, it should be commendable, like, because what he's doing is he's trying to show young people that it's okay to read. It's like cool to read, whatever it is. Like,
right.
So like
a good role model.
Right. So like the thought behind that is cool. Like, I appreciate it. Like, you're trying to be a good role model for these kids. But at the same time, if you're gonna act like a role model, like, act like a role model all the time. You know what I mean? Like, actually read the book. Actually, like, say what you mean and mean what you say.
Right.
Don't play this back and forth of, it's just, and his kid's going to get drafted in the NBA, and he is just not an NBA player.
Right, just because of who he is.
Right. And I mean, I guess that happens. Like, obviously it happens. But at the same time, like LeBron's like, he's a first round pick. He's not a first round pick. He's not even close to it. The kid averaged like 5.3 points a game at USC. He couldn't even crack in the starting lineup on a team that was awful. Like, they weren't a good basketball team. Like, why can't you do it? Now I think they're saying that he might go back to college and go to Ohio State or whatever.
Another year for a fifth year?
No, it's only his first year though.
Oh, really? Oh, wow.
Yeah, he's a young.
Daddy came out when he was still in high school, right? That was
Yeah, he came right out of high school. But LeBron was a
crazy.
freak. He was.
He was pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, he is. Dude, LeBron James is the top 10 NBA player of all time. I wouldn't put him top 5. That's just me. And again, just me, my views on it. Because so you have Jordan, obviously.
Yeah.
Right? I think that Shaq gets overlooked in that greatest of all time conversation. He was so dominant. Dominant, dude. And then you have Kobe Bryant, who obviously, and then you have Magic and Bird. I feel like those two are inseparable. You have to keep those two together.
Right.
But you have those guys.
Bill Russell, Will Chamberlain.
Right. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Right.
Yeah.
And like LeBron has these stats, and it's like
Scottie Pippen.
No, LeBron's definitely better than Scottie.
All right. Well,
head and shoulders above. LeBron could arguably be a top 10 guy, maybe top 5 depending on who you view, but I don't see it, dude. I just don't see how you could put him above a Kobe Bryant. I don't see how you can put him above, like, people that think he's the greatest of all time. They must have lost their damn mind, dude. Like, I can't ever put him above Jordan. Like, I don't even like Michael.
He's not even good at his free throws are terrible. Like Jordan used to do with his eyes closed. So I mean,
there's
so
much.
Yeah,
and he had that killer.
Jordan was magical.
He was.
I hated him when he played, but I mean, he's magical.
I think the conversation started. Obviously, ESPN started this conversation when LeBron was in high school because he was the chosen one, right? Which he has tattooed on him, by the way, which is ridiculous in itself. He has it on his back. It says chosen one. So like they constantly compared him to Michael, but if you look at his ball game, like how he plays, he's closer to Magic than he is Michael. Like he can score, but that's not his game. He sees the court and he's a facilitator and he does things with the ball that nobody's ever like. He is great and he's fun to watch. He's not flopping around.
Basketball guy. Is he a point guard? Is that what he does?
LeBron's a small forward.
Oh.
He's a small forward, but he played point guard. Like he brings the ball up. Like it's almost like the triangle when they had Pippen bring the ball.
Yep.
Like, but that's just because like sometimes LeBron brings the ball up, sometimes he doesn't bring the ball up. But he's when he came up, he controlled the ball like Magic did. He was a big 6'9" kind of freak athlete that could pass and do all that stuff. I mean, he's got great vision. It's not going to be a secret that he's like. He gets all these coaches fired. He blames everybody else for his downfalls instead of taking responsibility. He tries to distract everybody from his losses. There's like a bunch of stuff that I just don't like about LeBron. And we're going to see how this I think he's going to resign with LA. I don't see him leaving the Lakers because I don't think there's a reason for him to. Like, I think they can build back. But it's going to be interesting to see what they do with the head coach because by all rights, Jason Kidd should be the next head coach of the Los Angeles Lakers. He was the assistant coach. And I think, he's a good head coach. He's not great.
Same kid who played basketball a number of years ago. Same kid.
Yeah, he's one of the greatest point guards of all time, Jason Kidd.
Yeah.
But he was an assistant coach on the Lakers this last year. But from conspiracy theories I read is that LeBron is trying to push for JJ Redick to be the head coach. That's why he started the podcast and all that stuff. Which JJ Redick is a great mind, but he's never coached before. So, but LeBron gets what LeBron wants. You know what I mean?
I guess so.
My problem is he flops too much for me. LeBron just flops around. I don't like it.
Yeah, right.
Like you never saw Jordan got a lot of calls, but Jordan never begged for calls.
Yeah.
Like
Oh,
Kobe
yeah.
never begged for calls. Kobe would go in and drive to the lane aggressively and take the hits.
Hmm.
Jordan, same thing. LeBron is a freak. He's a tight end playing basketball. Like he's a monster. But he just anybody touches him and he flies 10 rows away. It's like,
Yeah.
dude,
He's a
you're
pretty boy.
280 pounds of muscle, dude.
Yeah,
I
right.
don't,
He doesn't
I don't
move a little bit.
believe that like Matthew Dellavedova fucking hit you into the next row. Like, I don't believe that, dude. Like Brian Scalabrini's not taking LeBron out. Like, that's my biggest problem with him. But I think the Celtics got a real chance this year. I'm like excited as a Celtics fan.
Yeah, I'm hoping. It's always nice to see them in the playoffs and
I
go.
think as long as they get Porzingis back healthy, they'll be good.
Yeah, they got
That's what
they got a solid unit. It should be good to see. Before we wrap up, I just want to throw one last curveball at you.
Yeah,
Odell Beckham Jr. Got him? Good? Yes? What do you think?
So this was I think we talked about this weeks ago, that the possibility
Pull
of him
attention
signing
away from
there.
Waddle, pull attention away from Tyreek,
I don't think he pulls
What do you think?
attention away anymore. I don't think he's that player. But
Okay.
but
If he's open.
I don't think he needs to. As a number 3 wide receiver, I'm assuming that he's going to be in the slot. I know they move Tyreek around a lot, right?
Yeah.
Like they move, Mike McDaniels is really good with all those motions.
Mm-hmm.
Like really good. I think Odell's perfect for them.
I was really happy when they picked him up. I mean, even if
I don't
even if
see
he's
how there's
not
a downside to that move.
a distraction, people put all their focus into Tyreek and Waddle. I mean, he might be open and get some more yards.
The
Another
last
weapon.
time
There's another weapon.
I think the last time we saw him healthy on a football field was the Rams Super Bowl, and he looked unstoppable.
He played.
I
No,
don't
he
think-
played against Miami this past year when Miami visited Baltimore.
But
He
that
looked
was in
pretty good.
Baltimore, and they don't really run. They don't run like a wide receiver friendly offense.
Mhm.
I don't think
They run a Lamar friendly
right, which makes sense because that's their best playmaker, really.
off an athlete, but I don't know.
Lamar's their best playmaker, so it
I'm-
makes sense that they would try to do it around him. And they have Mark Andrews, who's their best receiver, and they have that kid out of Boston College, Zay Flowers, too. He's nice. But I
Dude,
thought
he's unbelievable. He's unbelievable.
I thought for sure that Odell was going to have a bigger impact than he did on the Ravens. It'll be interesting to see how the Dolphins do, but I don't. If I'm a Dolphins fan, if I'm you, I'm excited about this. There is no downside to this move.
No, not at all. Not at all.
Like there
Plenty
is
of
not
room in the
one
cap.
negative thing. Yeah, and it's not a big cap hit. And
No.
again, he's a number 3 receiver, and he knows that going in.
Mm-hmm.
And you have Tyreek Hill and Waddle already.
Mm-hmm.
You
Right.
add Odell, and even if Odell is 70% of what he used to be, as a number 3 wide receiver, he's probably the best number 3 wide receiver in the league.
Some of the fastest guys in the NFL playing right down there in Miami. I don't know. We could do something. We could completely choke in December again, and I have diarrhea throughout January watching the playoffs. It could go either way.
I think it all depends on how. I think it all depends on how Tua grows.
Yeah, we'll see. He's getting better every year, so I mean, that's that.
Yes.
Dude,
it takes time. It takes time to build these quarterbacks. People want this instant. Some of these quarterbacks don't happen overnight. Josh Allen took 3 years to become a decent quarterback.
right.
I still think he's a little overrated,
I
but
think so too. Yeah,
he's still a good quarterback.
he's good.
Aaron
yeah,
Ro-
he's good.
Aaron Rodgers sat for 4 years. Jordan Love sat for 4 years. Brady sat for 2 or like a year and a half almost. Like these guys,
Yeah.
it takes time to build these guys up. You can't just expect these guys to come in and win. Like, is it nice when it happens? Yeah, of course it is. And
good.
some guys have the ability to do it, but not all guys do. It takes time to
No.
grow. I think Tua's got.
Yeah.
Tua didn't have a fair shot when he first got in either. I don't think Brian Flores wanted him.
Yeah.
They kept messing with him, pulling him out, putting Kobe Brissett in. Like they just did some weird stuff. It was strange, but he's very accurate.
He's gotten better. At first, in the first 3 years, dude, I was, I don't know if we gave up all those losses, all those wins for tank for 2. I don't know if it was worth it, but it's now he's
I don't
taking us
believe
to the
any
playoffs.
NFL. I don't think any NFL team has ever tanked. Maybe there has been, but dude, there's too much money wrapped up. A, B. I heard Pat McAfee talking about this because of the suck for luck year, and he was like, I can tell you without a doubt, maybe the front office wanted to tank, but the players on the field are all playing for contracts and like all this other stuff, and there's no way
Right.
that they're gonna tank. Like,
That's true. I like that reference. Suck for luck. That was fantastic. Even though he was a big flop, a good
he
quarterback,
wasn't a
but
flop.
he was
He was a very
good
good
for a few years.
quarterback.
Did he retire? Did he retire?
Yeah, he took too many hits.
Right. Yeah.
He got beat
Yeah.
up, dude. Like,
Yeah, he did
I
get
mean,
beat up. He had no
some of
O-line.
these guys, dude, like that, and that's another thing. I don't want to see Drake May this year as a Patriots fan.
No, you shouldn't.
I do not want Drake May on the field.
I think they'll
They're
play him
not.
by like week 9 or 10, to be honest with you. But
I hope not, because if you look at, all right, so if they're in that bad of a position where you think you need to bring the rookie quarterback in, then you're in a position where that rookie quarterback shouldn't be on the field.
right.
Because obviously that
Yeah.
offensive line and the weapons have failed around them.
Mm-hmm.
And you're just
For
going to
sure.
set it up for another Mac Jones failure. Because I think Mac Jones could have been a serviceable quarterback. I don't know if he would have been.
Would have been, should have been.
They fucked
Yeah,
him.
hands up, shooting the
The
bed.
Patriots mishandled him. But that happens all the time because these quarterbacks end up on bad teams, and then they,
Right.
you know
And
what I mean?
it gets in
They
their
don't
head,
build.
and they lose their edge, and they lose their focus, and
Right. Once you
Yeah.
lose your confidence like that, I think it's like tough to come back from.
right, especially like I can't imagine being in the pros. Like when 3 or 4 people are disappointed with me, I feel bad, but I imagine like half of Patriots Nation just talking
Dude.
shit about you on a regular basis.
And this fan base is so annoying, dude.
it starts.
When they drafted him, immediately when they drafted him, the comparisons to Brady started.
Of course.
And then when he had one game in the preseason and everybody was chanting for Mac again. And it's like, okay, why? Because he's a white quarterback? Like, we had Cam Newton who did fine the year before. And then they just wanted to rush Mac in. And then, so he had a good rookie campaign. Wasn't great. He had there was like a 4-game stretch in there that he really did well. Other than that, he was mediocre. But he was a rookie.
Right.
And then the next year, like we talked about, you know, I mean, they brought in Fat Trisha and Joe Judge, and then last year was Billy O and a very bad offensive line, no offensive line coach, just a team in turmoil. So it was probably time to move on. I don't want to see Drake May though. I don't want to see them ruin him. Like, he doesn't need to take the hits next year. If you're in that position where he's like sucking, if they're sucking that bad, then you just ride it out, take the losses, draft an offensive tackle or an offensive wide receiver, like an offensive weapon for him the next year, and then start fresh the next year.
Right.
But you're right, though. I do think you're right. I think we'll see him in week 9 or 10.
Yeah. I think he'll make an appearance.
Yeah. I think so, too.
Really,
I don't want it.
I think Kraft will will it. I think Kraft is more, But
yeah, Robert Kraft's the worst.
Yeah.
He's just
stick to the hand jobs, Bobby K. Stick to the hand jobs.
He's dug himself quite the hole with all this stuff going on.
Right. So speaking of hand jobs, we've been on for a little bit over 2 hours now, Brendan. We got to wrap up tonight's show. At this point, I'd ask you if there's anything you'd like to say to tonight's guests, but tonight's guests are long gone, and it's been us two talking sports for the last.
Yeah. So I do want to apologize to our guests that the technical difficulties did prevent us from continuing on with the readings. I hope that we can. We'll get them scheduled on the next time we have a medium on to do it.
For sure.
And we will make it up to you. We apologize. We thank you for sticking with us. Technical difficulties happen when you're doing a podcast like this. It's
especially
unfortunate.
live.
Right. Right.
Anything can, will, and unfortunately does happen.
But Joey and I will be back on Friday doing the show.
Very near future.
Joey and I will be doing the mid-card on Friday. We're going to be talking about Backlash, probably the best live crowd I've ever seen at a wrestling show. It was in France. They were just electric. It was crazy. There's a lot of wrestling to talk about. That'll be fun. And then you have the three dudes brews coming up soon.
Brews. I'm hoping for Thursday. I'm working on the intro right now. I'm putting it all together. Hopefully everything's done. Joey.
Nice.
Work for us. We have another show that we'll be taping for in a couple weeks at Smug Brewery, also in Pawtucket.
Nice.
We have 4 or 5 lined up right now. More to come. Made some good beer here on Saturday. Made a really good double IPA, which a lot of the I used a lot of the cuts and film work for the intro for the show. So it's I'm a little excited, dude. I'm not gonna lie. It was a good experience talking to Nicole from Crooked Current. Crooked Current is a brewery that I've loved and respected for a number of years. 10 now they've been open. These small businesses, it's like it's an artwork. It's not, I love the taste. I love the smelling it. I love getting the smells, the feels, the mouthfeel. I like all that. It's not always about getting drunk and loaded. Sometimes it's just like enjoying good things. But I can understand why you can't. So tune in. Hopefully Thursday. I will have I'll put my face out here and then I'll play the episode and you can put questions on the chat line and I can respond or whatever. I don't know. We'll see what happens. But hopefully this week that comes out. I'm gonna do some work tonight and hopefully I can bang it out.
Nice. It is a lot of work. The way you guys did it and recording and editing and stuff like that, it is a lot of work.
Yeah.
But it'll be I think it'll be worth it. You guys sound like you were excited about it.
Oh my God,
it'll be fun to watch. I'm definitely gonna watch it.
It was epic. She our guest, Nicole, she made the show. She did things. She's like, hey, I think you guys could do this. So what about if you did this? And now there's staples in our show, and we're gonna have like it's the whole thing. You'll see. We'll talk about it. So that's coming this week.
Awesome.
The mid card's coming this week. Tune in to us. Of course, we're always on the Get Haunted page, the Get Haunted Paranormal Podcast Network. You can check us out on there. We're on Facebook. We're on A Van Down by the Riv podcast on Facebook. We're on A Van Down by the Riv podcast channel on YouTube. We're on Twitch. You're watching us on all these networks tonight. Thank you for tuning in.
Be a friend, tell a friend, share, like, subscribe, comment, help us out.
Hit those buttons and stuff. Buddy likes the buttons being hit. Tune in, hit the button next week, and tune in for Rick Callahan. He's a paranormal investigator. He's going to bring some of his greatest stuff. Rick's a good guy. I've investigated with him before. He knows his shit, and he's going to bring on some of his evidence, if you will, and we're going to review it. And then
that's awesome.
Bams?
That's awesome. Should be a good show.
That's it.
That's all I got.
I'm going to end the stream here, so we'll wrap it up and have a good week.